We are here at Sweden Rock and I'm with JP from Clutch, and they just got done playing here at Sweden Rock, and the fans went totally crazy. It was a really great set. How did you enjoy your set here at Sweden?
Great day. The weather was fantastic. Sweden has been very receptive to Clutch music for a long time. Probably one of the first countries that we were able to come over and play real shows, and the audience just keeps growing, and we love it over here.
Now, you guys have been over in Europe for a little over a week now, and we were just discussing about the terrorist threat at Rock AM. And has it made you guys kind of double think, like, because Kansas pulled off of the tour here, about being in Europe?
Of course. We're living in scary times, and the thing is about music, I always sort of felt like music was kind of universal, and people wouldn't dare infringe upon something that I think is so special. But they have, and that's kind of the state of affairs that we're in now. So of course, you think about those things, but we're here to play rock and roll, and we're not going to let something like that stop us from doing it. I'm not going to go home. I'm not going to get another job. I'm going to keep playing music.
Oh, that's good.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So have you guys, you're out here, are you doing just festivals right now, or is there a mix of other stuff?
Mostly festivals. We fill in a little bit. The night before last, we were in Katowice, Poland. That was the first time.
Isn't that your first or second time back in Poland?
That was our second time. Last year we did a festival. This time we did a headline gig. Awesome place. Great people, very energetic crowd. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Midwest back home. When we were playing, I kind of thought, man, we could easily be in Michigan right now, where there's just people are so fired up and so passionate about the music. So it makes it easy for us to play.
And so you guys are going to be in Europe, then festival tours for about a month, and then you're heading back to the States?
Correct.
And you're going to be on a tour with Primus.
Yes.
So I'm really excited because we're in Seattle, and you guys are coming out to see us. So it's going to be really great.
Yeah.
What have you guys got planned tour-wise for the fans this time around?
Well, first off, opening for Primus is, that's an honor. We've wanted to do a tour with those guys for a very long time. When I was a young man coming up, Primus was a very important band. Specifically, their drummer, Tim Herb Alexander, was a huge inspiration on me. Not just in the way he played, but in his tonality, the sound that he put out. So we're excited about that. We will, we'll do like we always do. We're gonna play a mix of stuff. Every night we change the set list. Tonight happened to be dance night to make the set list. Our next gig is Download Festival, and so it'll be my turn, and then it'll be Neil's turn, and then it'll be Tim's, and then we just keep going like that.
Rotating. That's
rotating.
A really cool way to do it, because I know a lot of people say they'll go on like Setlist FM and say, "Oh, what would you play?" And if you're unpredictable, you kind of keep the fans guessing, and it's really cool.
And it keeps us guessing too, because the last thing that I want to do is get up there, play the same songs in the same order, and think of the same stuff. By shuffling stuff around, it just immediately changes the dynamic of each tune. As a player, it requires me to think about what's going to happen next. How do I best execute that song? I think about the vocal. How's that going to sit? And so all this stuff and all these things are going on. But that makes it a real musical experience. It's not just somebody going up there and running through the motions. I kind of liken that to a school play. Some kind of a piece like that where there's very little left to imagination or improvisation. We try to stay away from that. And that's not to say that it's always great, because we change stuff up and because we put songs in the set list we haven't played in a while, things happen on stage, and it's not always perfect. But that's what makes it what it is.
But that's cool, because it brings that human part to it that some people, that it's good. Some people can really rock the same set list all the time, but it's really cool to go back and reach in your old catalog, because every fan has their own personal favorite. And so I know I go to shows, and I know a lot of the fans will go to shows, and there's hope for that one song to show up. And if you switch it up like that, someone's eventually going to hear that song that they've just been dying to hear.
Absolutely. And that makes it just as fun for us.
Yeah. So you guys put your last album out in 2015. What do you guys got going with new music?
Well, we're cooking up some new stuff now. We put a new song in the set tonight. We have, at this point, probably half a dozen tunes that are pretty complete sounding. You know, these are forms that have a vocal concept, a verse, some kind of a chorus. You know, and so we'll be putting those into the set in the next few weeks and playing through those forms, and then we plan to record just after the new year.
That's really great because music, you know, it'd be really fun to hear what you guys have coming out next. Now, are you guys sticking around tonight after the festival, or
Yeah,
are you headed
yeah.
right back out on the road?
No, we're sticking around until midnight. We have
Oh,
quite a
nice.
drive ahead of us, but we will be able to see a little bit of Scorpions
Yeah.
featuring Mickey D, one of my favorite drummers in the world.
Yeah.
Excited to see that.
He's definitely one of the tops. Yeah.
I watched King's X this afternoon, and I was really blown away. You know, I've been a fan of them for a long time, but have never been able to see them in all the years. And so watching them today was very, very inspiring. You know, that's kind of my favorite thing about playing these festivals. You get the opportunity to see some people maybe you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe you haven't seen these bands play ever. And you know, we're all in it for the same thing. It's all about the music.
So, do you have one band that sticks out of all the festivals that you were just wowed that you got the chance to see?
You know, we got the opportunity to do a couple tours with Motorhead, and
Nice.
I'll tell you, I never got tired of watching those guys play. Every night was the same thing. We would finish up the set, and I would jump in the shower, grab a beer, and go hit the stage, and I would watch Motorhead every night. And for me, that was ultimately inspiring on a number of levels. One of the things that sticks out the most, though, is just the quality of the song. You know, these guys wrote songs that were one after the other. It was kind of like a greatest hits, you know, their set list. And of course, they came out and played with such authority and such passion that that also was a huge inspiration.
So, you guys are doing Europe right now, and then you've got the North American tour. Are you planning to head anywhere else this year?
Yeah, we're gonna do the Primus run, and that will be pretty much all North America. We'll head home, write a little bit of stuff, and then we're gonna go back out again. I think probably right after Thanksgiving time, and we're gonna hit some of the places that we haven't hit in a while. Some of the sort of like what they call secondary or tertiary markets. But for us, those were always primary markets, and I'm talking about places like Birmingham, Alabama, or you know, maybe Macon, Georgia, or Jacksonville, Florida. You know, these sort of places that are kind of off the beaten path. But for us, traditionally, those have always been the places that always came out to see us play, and I think most identified with the music.
Nice, nice. So, any advice for fans that are making music now that look up to you guys?
Well, you know, make music because that's what you want to do, to make music, you know. It's difficult to try to make a career out of this thing these days. And we are very fortunate to do it, and we do not take that for granted. But if you only gauge your success on how much your band makes or how big your band is, I think you sort of paint yourself into a corner. It's important to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, you know. If you are in it for the music, find guys that are in it for the music. If you are in it to make $1 million, well, you got to find people who are in it to make $1 million, and good luck to you. But if you make it about the music, you know, right away you're going to win. You know, you surround yourself with musicians who are like-minded, and for me, that's the payoff. You know, making the songs and playing the gigs that you enjoy doing.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Now, you guys, Clutch is out on tour, and they're going to be hitting the States this summer. So tickets are on sale now. You want to get out there and see these guys. Thank you very, very much, and have a great time tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.